go live and share with the world, isn't it?
It is interesting. I see like little circles flying around.
Circle, circle.
But it says we are live.
We are live.
So good morning. It is awesome to be back. This is our second time back today.
Yes, this is the lost segment. So if you listen to the first one and you can't understand why, it's because somebody forgot to unmute the microphone. I wonder who.
I don't know.
It's me.
Welcome back. We have been on vacation, enjoying family from out of state. So
yes, my sister here from Michigan. That was a treat.
It was very much a treat, and it's always fun when we get guests from outside of the area because we get to go rediscover the magic of the area that we live in. And for me, it's rejuvenating. It's exciting because I love sharing it with people, and it brings that energy back into me.
Well, after 4 years, we finally figured out a couple places that we can go eat that are really nice to share with people. That might, they might really like the food.
Well, it's
or the experience, or right?
It's the different experiences.
That they don't have up there, right? You can always go to a chain place, but they already know,
right? Or the beaches that the visitors might not know, but we know that are quiet. And
yes, everybody thinks about the big ones that are always crowded, and we know a few, few that are less attended, and have all this great territory.
And it's amazing just to be out and to have that in this time where a lot of us have been kind of feeling like we've been trapped a little bit.
Yes.
But to be able to get out and feel like life is normal again is just so freeing. So today we wanted to share with you a little bit about the magic that we have.
The magic, you say?
Ooh, magic. We have a little piece of magic within us, but we don't always find it before we discover how frustrated we are.
Yes.
So you had mentioned a little bit about your work experience.
Yes, in the lost segment. I hope you enjoyed it.
Which we know you didn't, because it was muted.
Let's go back. So one of the things that we think about when creating magic, creating a change in your life. So we're talking about this simple thing, this simple mindset of we want something, we want to go towards something, whether it's your job, whether it's relationship, whether it's developing yourself, whether it's to improve your health, whether it's to just interact in a different way in your life, to highlight one area and focus on improving it. Right? We're meant to evolve. We're meant to grow. And sometimes this gets lost in the platitudes, right? Oh, I want to grow. And I did. 10 years ago, I was on a path. My career was moving along. I got into the position that I really wanted to be in after a lot of work, a lot of perseverance, starting out as a teller, or actually not even a teller. I was in the back room building, in the print shop, building payment books and deposit books and checking kits and all the little things that the company was doing in-house, right? But from there, I moved up into what I really wanted to do, be in the teller line, but I was too young, so I couldn't go there. and move forward, right? And like most people, move from one job to the next to seek a little better pay, seek a little better feeling about what you do that is rewarding or can make a difference in the community. So we move along. We got 10 years ago. I'm leading the team, asset liability management. So that's focused on the bank and its interest rate risk. So of its portfolio of all of its loans, its deposits, customer behavior, economic conditions. You bring all that in, and you help the bank management, the bank leaders, the shareholders, uh, to in the end, but also really just making sure we're going to be in business tomorrow, right? If we take too much risk, we're putting ourselves at wide range
So
of
what
results.
happened?
But I'm losing myself in those moments because I found myself. I wish I knew it then, but little by little, I'm going from 45 hours work to 50. I'm losing more of my day. We have 160 some odd hours in the week, and half of those are really sleep and other things like whatever.
Sleep, grocery shopping, errands running.
Well, more sleep
It's time
and
with family
exercise
or
and getting up and things like that, right? All the things that are to be restorative.
extracurricular activities, different
Well,
groups and
no,
organizations.
that's in the first 80 you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
The other 80 is downtime.
But what I'm hearing you say is that was getting swallowed up by
Yeah,
work.
that first 80 that's supposed to be productive, enjoyable, I was moving towards consuming it fully on other activities, volunteer activities, some of the stuff that I was doing for personal development. All that was starting to be squeezed because I was then adding more hours at work. And I don't know if that makes sense to you. If it does, if you've been there, slowly but surely, I'm now increasing to 50 to 60 hours. I'm doing, the boss comes down, hey, can you do this scenario again? Rework all the work. It takes 10 more hours to kick it out. But I need it tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, right? So little by little, that was like consuming me, and I'm losing the creativity. So if you think about this pen as being the magic wand of the change in your life, if you remember like Mickey and Fantasia, or whatever, there's this power that's within you that's sent out through the wand to make a change visually. And often we take that, put it in our back pocket, and then we say, oh, just got to do a few more hours of work. I'm going to be late. And whatever the case may be. And then suddenly I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling worn down. I'm feeling stressed out. I'm losing myself. I'm losing the creativity, the power to change something. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made for a bad state.
I was thinking too, when we talked about this topic and what we wanted to share today, what I was thinking about sharing was my discovery when I knew I wanted to make a change. But in listening to you talk about that, what I'm thinking about is even more current. It's what's happened since March, okay? And what's happened since March, so many of us were ousted from our offices to work from home. And there are benefits, but there are also some drawbacks to that.
Yes.
And it's so easy to say yes. So many of us are yes people because we want to rise to a challenge. We want to please other people. We want to know that we can do it. And we feel good about ourselves when we say yes, right? And we feel good about ourselves when we accomplish those things. But what happened when we came home? And I'm hearing this across the industries, as people are coming to me and talking to me, they're saying, I went on vacation, but now I'm back from my vacation and I feel depressed and I just don't feel ready to even move forward with this.
Yeah, the vacation. They need a vacation from the vacation. The first thing they say to their coworkers when they come back, oh, it was tiring. So much, whatever.
People try
running around. I had to run the family all around wherever they went. Oh, I need a vacation from my vacation now. Just leave me alone. I got to get into the swing of things.
So some people are experiencing that.
Yes. Zoomified. Yes.
We're Zoomified, right? And the particular person I was thinking of is very passionate about what she does for a career, but she's coming back and she's just like, oh, it's Zoom.
Yeah.
And so we started chatting about this. What can we do about it? What's happening? And all of a sudden, the realizations start coming in. Well, I used to go to the office and it used to be this clear cut. This is my office. This is my home.
Mm-hmm.
I have a personal life here and this is my work life. What happens now that we're Zoomified? All of a sudden, people start coming in. Friends and family start calling during work hours.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have a little break, then all of a sudden, oh, I take a 2-minute phone call.
Yes.
2 minutes becomes 20 or maybe even more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or on the flip side of things, we go over here to the personal side and all of a sudden these clients know you were home for them. You're still home now. It might be okay to contact you, even though it's outside business hours, right? So now we're getting calls, personal calls during the workday. We're getting business calls during personal time.
It's a creep, right?
It's a creep. And everything starts meshing in together. We don't have clearly defined boundaries.
I shouldn't say creep. That's kind of the wrong connotation. The crawl. The crawl of
it's a blend.
work life, like a spider crawling into your personal
Let's go with your colors.
All right.
What happens when colors bleed?
Okay.
Right? They start blending in together. All of a sudden they get to be this.
If you get the right combination, you get black. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? We used to make frosting for Christmas cookies.
Yes.
Okay, we get some pretty colors, right?
Yes.
You've done Christmas cookies with us. So
yeah,
you know.
if you haven't seen me in an apron, holiday apron.
Yeah, that'd be my mom's doing. But what happens is toward the end, I don't know if it was my dad or who it was, but they'd end up mixing all these colors together and you get this putrid, grayish, purplish.
Yeah.
Not any satisfying.
Sometimes it's called Superman or bubblegum.
I've heard that. Yeah. I've heard that. I prefer when my colors are kept a little bit more separate and defined. You know, like the ones behind us. Those are nice crayons. You know, if we color our future bright, we don't want to color it muddy and.
Well, you can see in the background there's separation of colors, right? Even though they merge, they stand out on their own, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we in our lives, we have this mass of color that sometimes it gets blurry and turns into, like the photos that you look at on your phone and you can apply a filter and change them to classic, to black and white. Or you can play with the slider to change how much black and white
you want. How much saturation.
Saturation or, blur or whatever else you want to do to them. Right. And that's what happens with our lives, is because we're now allowing this stuff to creep and crawl into us, or we say, oh, I need to pay more attention to work at the expense of something else.
So what I'm hearing,
and then it becomes this murky idea of what you're supposed to do in your life.
He said a word that I really like, or a phrase. We allow, suggesting that we have control.
Yes.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Who doesn't like to be in control? I mean, we want to know that we have that control, right?
Yeah.
So you have some slides for us today.
Well, just some additional thoughts.
Real quick.
Yeah. So it is the difference between you and you when you're creating magic. When you're not, you're just you.
Mm-hmm.
When you're applying and allowing this magic to flow through, this ability to change, ability to say, yes, I want a difference, and you're moving towards it, becomes you. I hope you got the connotation there. But so quit hiding your magic. Pull out your magic wand and start using it to change your life, to break out of this problem. But sometimes, here's the problem that's coming up. The world, it isn't the problem, but the world is ready for you, right? But the problem is,
you don't believe it,
right? Yeah, you don't believe you're ready for it, or if I just did this one more thing,
mm-hmm.
Like this morning,
It's
I'm working on this, on our discussion, trying to get our thoughts together. And oh, can we just do this one more week? Can we just push this off for another week? I'm not ready.
and
I
it
am ready, but it's just there's this voice that's talking to me and saying,
well, it's been a while, and
yeah,
sometimes when you let go and you
yeah,
just kind of relax for a bit, it's harder to jump in. But I think when we talk about what you've talked about, you get caught up in that job. It's kind of like a frog in the water, right?
yes,
Frog doesn't know the water's going to start boiling. All of a sudden, boom, it's there, it's gone. And same thing with the zoomified lifestyle here. All of a sudden, we've lost our boundaries. And it's hard to take that first step, but it all starts with mindset and it all starts with belief.
yeah.
And we have to believe in our power to change, because if we don't believe it, we're never going to achieve it. We're never going to take that step forward to take the action that we need to access that magic that's inside of us. And you can tell
Very true.
I have so much passion about this subject because it's so incredibly powerful. And I
And
love it.
enthusiasm about with a possibility,
Enthusiasm about.
enthusiasm about the
You're so
possibility.
serious.
So sometimes we say I'm exhausted. Like when 10 years ago, I was saying I'm so exhausted, I'm frustrated, I just feel tired, I don't have any energy. Well, so here's a tip. Here's something that you can do if you're finding yourself at any point in your day, or if you hear it from the people around you, from your team, from your workplace. I'm so tired. Oh, I'm glad the weekend's here. And what are you going to do differently during the weekend? So learn to help yourself, help others, rephrase it as something that serves you and separates your being from your condition. So what do we mean by that? So I am exhausted. Anything that following I am, you're instructing your mind. That's what it needs to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of you're focusing on exhaustion. And sometimes when we focus on the lack, we ignore the abundance, right? How much exhaustion are you compared to your whole self?
And
And are you blowing it out of proportion to what you really are? One of the things I learned not too long ago is that when we say we're exhausted, when we say I'm tired, we've only used maybe 40% of our potential.
oh, can I use that next time you tell me you're tired?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
There's
yes.
still another 60% of tap into energy. Now, I'm not saying at every point that you're at 100%. There might be other circumstances that you have to deal with, like improving your body tempo, improving your health. There might be some physical limitations that you have to overcome that makes that extra 60 more difficult to go into to reap the benefits. But realize you're not at the end of your string.
You realize you just kind of gave me a dangerous piece of information.
Yes. So we react to our conditions that we created. So when I'm back 10 years ago, working more hours, I'm creating the conditions that leads me to exhaustion. And wouldn't it be something different if at that moment I had learned this tool that said, isn't it interesting? Those simple words suddenly pull you out of that condition, out of that circumstance, and gives you the ability to look at it analytically, to look at it and say, isn't it interesting at this moment, my voice is telling me I need to work more. I have to go and complete this before the end of the day. I have to spend as many hours as it's going to take, no matter how much I need to be here. I really don't need to be here. I've got a team. Why don't I just use an hour each of their time to delegate some of the stuff? So We all get it done, and I don't have to work till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 a.m., and then have to be back at 7 for a meeting,
Mhm.
right? So, isn't it interesting? That's one way. Another way would be to rephrase the I am. I am overjoyed at this moment that I can put this behind me and move forward.
When you talk about being exhausted and rephrasing it,
Yes.
sometimes I pull the yeah but out.
Yeah, but
My first thought may be I'm exhausted, and then I'll think, yeah, but look at what I've accomplished today. I've been able to achieve this.
yes.
I've overcome this hurdle. I got this done, and I checked this off my list. And I still have the opportunity to do this. That's still on my list. And I know that because I do these things, I can move forward. And then I start to feel energized because I focus on that positive aspect of it. So that's one way I look at it. And then you use the phrase, isn't it interesting?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget the moment that I realized how powerful that statement was. I know the exact location, the time. I know I was really frustrated because of something someone said. And then all of a sudden, that phrase popped in my mind. I was like, isn't it interesting that I am allowing
Mm-hmm.
that to take precedence over the good that I'm surrounded by?
Right.
And all of a sudden, when I realized that I allowed that one thought to shift my whole focus for the day,
Right.
it was like so rude. It was like, how dare I let that one thing show plot twist and take me down that dark path that I don't want to go down?
Yes.
Because if I yelled plot twist back at them, then all of a sudden I can be back in my happy place. I can be back in this place where I am so thankful to be. I've worked hard to get here. I have a lot of success to celebrate where I'm at. And all of a sudden, isn't it interesting? I have control over my actions. I have control over my thoughts. I have control over this journey that I'm on.
Yeah, that it reminds me of some of the movies I've seen, you've seen, where a group of people, maybe just the hero themselves in the movie, are going down the dark hallways trying to find to the one office they need to go to, or the one location where the key to the treasure is, right? And they turn down the wrong hallway, and there's a shadow going across, like,
The music picks
oh
up.
yeah, yeah, oh, wrong way, stop, come back, come back. They needed a friend to tell them, no, don't go down that way. We're all yelling at the TV, don't go. Anyways,
And sometimes, though,
but
I was just thinking, sometimes we go down those darker hallways or we get into this path that you wish you had a friend to pull you out of it. But there's also a factor that they're taking action and they learned from their action.
well, hopefully
Okay, it's a
some
movie, so maybe
yeah,
not.
maybe
But
not, yeah.
in life, I mean,
Yes.
we make mistakes.
Yeah.
We take a wrong turn. We don't know exactly how something's going to happen. We learn from it, right?
Right, like the first part of this first show, where
Right,
we had the
right.
lost segment, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, anyways, this is just a small part of a greater program that we offer, a greater journey, a greater experiment that we're going to invite you to. If you're interested, you know, there'll be the opportunity in the coming week to jump in. It's a great opportunity to put this into practice. It's a simple exercise every day. It's a simple uh, opportunity to check in on your life in 5 different areas we're going to talk about, to get to the life of your dreams, to stop allowing the stuff in your life today from crawling into something that you really want to achieve. So stop the crawl so that you can achieve the things that you want to achieve. And I wish I had some of these tools, had known about it 20 years ago. because I'm applying it now, but if my life would have been much more different had
Mm-hmm.
I pulled
Absolutely.
myself out of that 10 years ago at an earlier point, that things would have been different. I don't know if they would have been good or bad. I'm not saying I'm, you know, what's the word? Regretting. Yeah, I'm not regretting where it all came out, because I learned something out of the process. I'm much better off today because of it. But it would have been something to help me at that moment improve my health and
Mm-hmm.
help me use the, leverage the people around me instead of saying, I got to do it, I got to do it, I got to do it all.
So I think for today,
Yeah.
I think the big thing is start believing in you. Believe that you have something that the world needs, because the world really is ready. They really are waiting for that gift that you have to give, because you're the only one that has that unique set of gifts and circumstances that you can give. They're ready for you. You need to believe that you have that gift to give. What you need to believe that you're ready to take action, even if it's imperfect. It doesn't matter how young or how old you are. You just need to be ready to take that action step and believe in it. Color your future bright. Live that adventure that you dream.
Yeah.
So
And don't be lost.
that's right.
don't
It's,
don't allow take that tip of, isn't it interesting, take that moment and break yourself out of your conditions and start serving yourself, start serving with a better mind. And
well, I want to be careful about saying serve yourself, because ultimately we want to serve others,
right, but you can't,
but you have to take care of
you got
yourself.
to take care of it. You just got to serve your mental well-being. You got to support it. You've got to,
Yes.
in essence, that's what I'm trying to say,
Yes.
is
I just
you
want
know,
to make sure that
support
was
it.
clear.
Yeah. We bring this to a close, but if this resonates with you, just drop a note in the comments. We want to be able to support you. We want to help you be all in.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you for your thoughts
Thank you,
this
Lisa.
morning.
Thank you all.
And
It's great to be back.
yes, we will be back. You'll see a lot more regular content here again. So that's exciting,
We'll see how it
because
goes.
I love connecting with you guys. I love hearing your stories. I love seeing you progress toward those things that you're called to be.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Have fun.
Have a great
Great
week.
weekend. Yes. Take care now.